Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Spiridon from CZT Beth Gaughan. Okay, I like this tangle right from the get, from looking at it. And this is a recently released tangle from tanglepatterns.com. You will find that link in the description section. Something else that I like about it is reading the description. I'm going to have to get myself spruced up on my 1970s Doctor Who, because I'm also a Doctor Who fan, and so this is. She said this name popped out of her head from one of the Doctor. It was a alien planet on Doctor Who in the 70s. So very cool. All right, this is a grid pattern. And what I'm going to show you is just one box and do it large so that way it's easily seen. It's not hard. It looks so impressive, and it looks, rather complex too. And well, maybe a tad of focus, but honestly, not that much. All right, so this is our one box. It's a really nice one to just lose yourself in all of the lines. Really, really nice. Okay, so we start off with a box in the center. And then I'm going to use the take off and land sort of concept. We're taking off here. We're kind of crash landing here. Take off and land, if you don't know, it's about tracing over where you're starting. That's your runway, and then when you land, you would do the same, and that's like your landing strip. This we're just I like to trace over like that, continue on, and then we're just stopping at that line. And to me, number one, it corrects some things, and it just helps so that you don't see where you're starting and stopping, that kind of thing. Like so. So each side, and pick a direction to go and stick with it. And we're just going off to that side. So this one I was going off to the right. Like I said, honestly, it doesn't matter. Okay, now the next bit, it's so weird because it wasn't necessarily tricky, but when you look at Beth's step out and you see that the line, well, here, let me just show you one. We're not dividing this in half at all. I mean, it's just kind of half. But as I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, great. Now, how am I going to determine, what's going to be the best way to think about this line? Or just, and not aiming for this, but a little, a little before it. Here's what I found. In my mind, I'm subdividing here, like as if I'm not looking at where I'm ending, but looking at this corner and kind of eyeballing, what would that be, a 45-degree angle, and then just take it where it leads, and it misses it misses the corner, and it's perfect. And so honestly, it doesn't matter how close or how far away you are from that end. Just miss it. Okay, so once this is done, those original lines that we made, say find one, and what we're going to do is just add in some lines, basically auraing that, but just in this section. And what I decided to do is to separate these. All we're doing is putting lines in here, but I decided just to separate it out. So we're going with the original spokes first. And so I'm just going to go around and do that. And so I made two step out boxes for that. I split it into 2 steps. I mean, honestly, I needed to see it myself because I'm like, okay, I see a bunch of lines. All right, let's make some sense out of this. And yeah, and let's see. Oh no, I was just looking at what she wrote, and she put aura, yeah, the 8 strokes. But this way it will help, so that way you say, okay, we'll start with the original first. And one more. And then we'll do the other ones. But we're going to do, here's a way to think about it. So this is how my brain goes, because I want to make it easy so you don't have to look back and examine the step out every time you want to do it, or every, in between things. But we're auraing, the stroke that we took. So here was that first one, right? So we aura that. And I still think it's good to separate that way. It's just easily seen. But then we're going to aura the second stroke that we did. So that way, I don't know, I'm just all for the less I have to think about something, the better. Because when I was looking at it, I mean, what I see lines going, one direction, and then lines kind of going on the diagonal, but my brain just kind of stopped and said, okay, I see that. And, then it was, okay, determining which ones do we do? Well, that's how you figure that out. And I think it makes it really easy to remember too. And like I said, this is a nice one that you can just get lost in. So if you're using this for, a mindfulness exercise, or, a meditation exercise, or you just know that you get those side effects, like that's what I call them. And it's like, oh, okay, I just want one I can get lost in. And this is one. Now, when you have one like this, every once in a while, you want to, have a finger stretch break. And depending on how many of them you're doing, you want to do that, every so often. And then also, while you're doing that, look across the room, maybe look up, towards your ceiling or something, and focus your eyes on something, something up and across the room. So, as to not have cross eyes afterwards. Because sometimes I just know myself, you just keep going and going and going and going, and then you're like, why can't I let go of the pen? It's stuck. Oh no. All right, so there we have it. Isn't that neat? Now for some shading. Here is how I decided to shade this. And of course, you could just do the overall if you wanted to. But what I'm going to do is I like to go where things are tucked under. So, or the way I look at it, for determining what's tucked under, especially on this, is where the lines go, well, sort of perpendicular. Where I have a bunch of lines meeting one line, and so I put the graphite on the side where it's the bunch of lines. And I mean, look at how neat that is already. Look at that. It is just so neat. And it's neat to watch it kind of unfold. And here, a half and half ish, with and without. And it's so neat to look and compare and be amazed. That's what I do. Because it's just, to me, it's just so magical. And not having any art background, except for being related to people that have an art background. I don't feel like I inherited it, but I inherited something, because I can do this. Other things, not so much, but that's why it's just so amazing, because, I feel like I'm making up for lost time, I guess. Not having really, participated in drawing or things. Look at that, though. Isn't that neat? I don't know what to do with that. I think I'm just going to leave that box there, but let's just put I'll just put a little bit of graphite in there like that. Neat. Now, oh, and I'm debating. Let's see. Oh, I could. Well, let's do it on this. So if you want to do it in the grid, here's what it looks like. But here's what I'm realizing. All of these lines are perpendicular on the outside here. And so let me do that. And I'm going to do it on the grid also. Oh, look at that. It just ties it all up together in a nice little bow. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. I'm glad that jumped out at me. I mean, it still looks cool, right? But this just does it one more. So in this one, I kind of put the graphite on both sides, and I'm working to make that have the Tortillion take it on. Oh, that did pretty good on both sides versus just one side of the line. Okay. Now, while I'm doing this, if you're enjoying this, please take a break, click on the like button. If you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. Oh, this is just so neat looking. And I like this kind of a fill-in, or, I mean, it's a texture and a fill-in. Just really, really neat. There we go. Oh, let's put a little, let's see, let's do it instead of what I did there. Let's just put a little bit in a corner. I'll put it in the same corner. There we go. Yeah. And like here, it makes it kind of poofy a little bit, but I like it. I like it a lot. All right. And again, I hope you have as well. After you've clicked to like and subscribe, if you haven't done so already, do check out the description sections. Like I mentioned, you'll find links to the step outs. Below that is my link tree, which has links to all my social media. If you are interested in classes, I have links there for where I post classes. A lot of mine are free. On Thursdays, they're free. It's called Tangle Time. Tuesdays, those are the 2 days that I teach right now. And online. Tuesdays generally have a fee, except for the third Tuesday. That one is also free, called Tough Tangle Tuesday. I'm trying to think what else do I want to highlight? I think that's it. It's self-explanatory. Also, if you would like to tangle with a bunch of other tangle addicts, or hang out, really, we have a Tangle Addicts community on Facebook. So there's a link there. When you click it, you will it should just pop up with the 4 questions that you have to answer in order to gain entry. And once you do that, then you're in. Or I should say, you're in at the point that I see. And I stay pretty on the Facebook, and where I click to accept generally pretty quickly. So, yeah, so come and join us one way or the other. Come and join us. Have fun. All right, so with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.